Hello there, my name is Yanni Valcanos, and today I will be talking about the impact that the COVID-19 pandemic had on the work lives of small businesses and owners of the businesses during the time of the pandemic, and how benefits were being given out over the course of the pandemic. So way back in March of 2020, the world basically came to a standstill in regards to dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. The US went into lockdown during that March, and the world hasn't been the same since. Majority of people's lifestyles became virtual. Many students and other employees became used to this virtual lifestyle, learning online, going to work online, doing everything they had to from their own desks at home. Adult students were in very similar boats, and the only ones that continued to work were our essential workers, such as the doctors, nurses, and all those individuals who had to work in person, so they continued to work on the front lines while dealing with the peak of the pandemic. But big reasons that the pandemic impacted the economy so much was the impact on the small businesses throughout the world, not only in the US, but this impacted the entire world. Retail stores, restaurants, sports teams, they were all forced to shut down due to the pandemic, due to personal space and people need to spread out from one another. About the 6 foot rule and whatnot, they all had to space out from each other. So this put those types of, like I just listed, the retail stores, the restaurants, etc., they put those in trouble because those are built on people coming into your buildings and buying your products. So for the individuals who were working at those said places, establishments, they were able to collect unemployment benefits, which was great. People were getting the amount that they would usually get, maybe a little more depending on their job. And they wouldn't have to go into work. They could stay home, stay safe, keep clean, whatnot. And the truth was, no one knew how long that was going to go on for. Some people thought it was just going to be a couple weeks, because that's what the government initially said. And everyone was fine receiving the benefits. As of the Family and Medical Leave Act created by the U.S. Department of Labor, they were trying to support everyone in a time of crisis, because not everyone could work, but there were bills to be paid and much more to be done, but they couldn't work. So that act helped people have less stress and be able to deal with it. But the issue was, it went on for much longer than anticipated. It was only until the pandemic started in March of 2020. The benefits were only supposed to be given out for, we'll say, a month or two. It went on to September of 2021. Only a couple months ago did the benefits finally run out. Fast forward to the present day, it's been much longer. The world's almost entirely reopened right now, but people were still collecting the unemployment benefits, which was a very big issue, because this led to the topic of this video about how the small businesses weren't getting their employees back. Why would people go back to work when they were getting money for free still without having to leave their house? I'd do that, for crying out loud, if I had a choice. It was a matter of how small businesses are suffering because they don't have the employees anymore. And all these big companies are able to pay the people who want to work, they can pay them more. Bigger corporations, casinos, just larger companies in general are able to pay employees more. And this caused a lot of small businesses to close down. And the ones who did survive are not the same as what they were before the pandemic. So the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the economy forever in regards to the small businesses, and we don't know if it'll ever go back to what it was before.